Today I'm going to be making a French cleat cabinet that's going to cover this window here, mostly because the sunlight that does come in just kind of blinds me in the eye, and I need some storage and I'm sort of out of wall space. Now originally I was going to cover both the windows with one big case, but that's 7 feet and I decided that one window is enough. Mostly what I want to do is get a lot of the tools out of this drawer here for the lathe. I've got a bunch of chisels and stuff, and I need to make some room and some storage.
I pre-measured out the space between the windows and the boards that I had tacked up into the cement so that I knew exactly how big to make the backer board for the cabinet. I'm sure there's other ways to set this up, but I had no plans at all. So I just started by putting a little junk hunter blue on the back of the board, and then I just cut all the frame pieces to size. And then I just made sure that they were all squared up and the exact same width, which was based on the smallest board that I had. There may be easier ways to set this up, but without a centralized work table, since I'm in a garage shop, this was the easiest way for me. And here I'm just countersinking all the holes before I drill them. And we're back to drilling, getting all the holes ready to actually attach the frame to the plywood. And screw time. Now it's time to start working on the doors. Now, I'd already pre-cut all the sizes, so you didn't have to see that again. And my thought here was actually that I was only going to do 3 sides. The hinges are actually one of the few things that I did pay for this project, but I paid for them years ago. They were left over from another project. And I had to work on getting this completely flush because it didn't close properly at first. I like to pre-drill so that I don't have to worry about splitting the wood. And then I countersunk everything here because this is the part that I was going to be touching for the most part. So I wanted everything flush. And I also didn't want it to split this hardboard. The reason I didn't put the 4th side on at first was because I thought that I was going to have something in there bigger than the width of the inside, and I thought I might need the extra space. And I'm just using the plane and the chisel to clean up some of the poor cuts on my part, and then sanding the edges so that, you know, I don't hurt myself. I'd already put up the 2 wood boards where I was going to hang everything, so then I just cut up, this is 45-degree French cleat stock that I'd made for something else, and then I just countersunk all the holes so that I could put them in right away and not have to worry about the screws sticking out. I pre-drilled all the holes, but there was a problem in that I didn't have the right size screw. So then I screwed from the back side so that I could hold the blocks in place and then screw shorter screws from the inside. And then I later removed the middle screw and filled in that with another shorter screw. These elastic bands are cut up bicycle inner tubes. I have a ton of them from when I used to work on bikes. And if you need any of these, just go to a bike shop, they'll give them to you. There's lots and lots of flat tires at bike shops. As you can see, this is pretty crooked, and this is the beginning of the disbelief. At first I think maybe I just don't have it on there right, but then I just keep double checking, and opening the door is my way of, it's a brain check. I'm still trying to figure out, why does this not look right? It's just not registering, and then
How is that crooked? I measured everything level. Everything. I double checked it. That's like... That's a hell of a difference. Somebody's got to get going with quality control around here.
I didn't have this 72-inch level when I first put up the blocks. I actually purchased it after they were up, and now it was a good time to use it. I figured out what happened is when I did the original pencil marks, I had been drawing the bottom of where these blocks should go, and when I put the blocks up, I actually thought it was the top. And so that's how come they were offset. Here I just missed the French cleat.
Little miscalculation. But apparently it self-closes. So I added in, these are all from when I recycle the HDPE bottles that I get from detergent and all this stuff. This is the bottle caps. They're a different kind of plastic. I think it's PETE, but I don't use this as much. And I thought this makes a good little holder. Put a little rack in there. I also, when I was opening this door, because it keeps hitting the garage door, what I did was I put in a second set of, a second rubber band here from the bicycle inner tube, because these were starting to fall out. Every time I open or close the door, I'd find one over here. So this way, at least it keeps them in there. And you know, I've still got space in here. I don't know everything, you know, the way that it's going to be set up. And I do want to get another one of these magnet strips, maybe put that up there. But overall, it helps with the organization, you know, just to get the sandpaper that I don't use out of the way. Chisels are easy to get to for the lathe, and it also cleared out this drawer. Now this drawer is going to be focused on sandpaper that I'm using that hasn't quite gone bad yet. Drill bits, and then over here, router bits, and some pen making stuff for the lathe, and stickers, which I still haven't figured out where to put. Maybe what I'll do is I'll hang something in front of this window to kind of block the light that's magnetic. I do want to make a bunch of sticker magnets. But overall, I'm pleased with how this came out. It was not meant to be anything super duper. It was just meant to be something to block the window and provide some storage. And it's relatively thin. I don't know what the exact, let me measure here. Less than 7.5 inches out from the wall, so it's very thin. And I like to point out that this entire thing, well, not the entire thing. I'd say 90-95% of it was made for free. These gray panels, this hardboard, I got from a Staples dumpster dive when Staples closed. All the wood on the sides that make up the cabinet doors are all from a pallet. So the plywood either came off the street or out of a dumpster. I really can't remember. I've got a lot of plywood. I can't keep track of all of it. This magnetic bar I got for free from Harbor Freight, from one of their coupons. These glass doorknob pulls, I think these came from a cousin that found them in their house and didn't want them. So I've been hanging on to them. The magnetic bar up there, I did pay for that, but I paid for that about, I don't know, 15-20 years ago. It used to be for holding knives. Now it's holding up the chisels just fine. And the same thing with the magnets for the door. I salvaged those off of some cabinets that somebody had thrown out. So most of this stuff, all for free, you know. Anybody can make this. It's a super easy, simple project. It's not perfect. It's got some slightly crookedness to it, but it's functional, which is all I really wanted for the shop. And I did not, if you noticed throughout the video, I did not glue anything together because it's entirely possible that I'm going to leave this shop someday. Maybe I won't have a need for this low, thin profile cabinet. So I want to be able to take the entire thing apart and reuse all the wood for something else. Considering that almost everything that makes up the structure of this was originally built onto something else. So it'll get a third, fourth, maybe a fifth life eventually down the line. So I hope you guys liked it.